Hello people. I want to do something slightly different today because I'm not going to talk about bikes or biking or vlogging. I'm going to tell you two funny stories that happened when I joined an amateur dramatic group, or an AMDRAM group. I've actually got four stories I'd love to tell you, but I've only got time for two in this particular vlog. So I'll save the story of the actress and her wig and the stage kiss and pretend whiskey until the next vlog. In this vlog I'm going to tell you about my first ever appearance for this group and how that didn't actually go to plan, and also a little story about the director, a lovely old lady, very well spoken, who didn't think before she spoke, and if you stick around you'll see what I mean. It's quite funny. Right, I was living in a little village just outside of Chippenham in Wiltshire, and I saw an advert one day for the local theatre group that were looking for people to join them. Not just to act, but help them out. Now, my background's electrical, so I thought I could help with lighting, I could probably help with scenery, and if I got the chance to tread the boards and face my fears, I was quite happy to do that. And a few months later, there I was, they wrote me in to be the prompt on this particular play. And for those who don't know, the prompt basically sits in the wings, unseen by the audience, with a script in their hand. And if any of the actors lose their way or forget their lines, the prompt tells them their line. And hopefully in a way that the audience don't hear. But yeah, just follows the play. This was a serious murder mystery. And I say serious because it wasn't a comedy. But it was one of those plays where the final scene was exactly what you probably imagine it to be. It was a room full of suspects, and the detective would walk around the room talking to each of the suspects and telling them why he'd ruled them out until he got to the person that was the murderer. And then he would explain how he knew they were the murderer. He'd then say, "Sergeant, take them away," and another actor dressed as a period policeman, a British bobby, strolled on, took the arm of the murderer and said, "I think you should come along with me, sir." Curtain down, end of play. And the play was going really well that night. It was the first night, and I could hear the audience react to certain things that were going on. And I caught a glimpse of the director walking around. She looked really worried, and she said to me that Derek, not his real name, Derek, who played the policeman at the very end to walk on, had not turned up. And she asked me if I would mind doing that part, that very small part in the play, walk on. "I think you should come along with me, sir." And I said, yeah, no problem. There was a problem. Derek was 6'2", and I am not 6'2". So I knew straight away when I tried to put on the trousers of the policeman's uniform that it wasn't going to fit. It was far too long, so I rolled the trousers up. I used my own belt to get the trousers to fit, but they still looked like a mixture between Charlie Chaplin and MC Hammer. The jacket wasn't much better. Because it had epaulets, it was very stiff on the shoulders, and it came out to about here either side, so I looked like something out of Dynasty. You could just see my fingers sticking out the bottom of the sleeves. But the helmet was the best thing. As soon as I put this policeman's helmet on, it came over my ears and covered my eyes, and the only way I could see was to tilt it backwards. And I thought, this is crazy, I can't do this. So I went to the director and I said, look how I look, I can't go on looking like this, it's a serious play. And she said, don't worry, she said, it's literally a walk on, deliver your line, walk off, they won't even notice you. The last scene was running, and I was standing in the wings dressed as a ridiculous policeman, and some of the cast that were already on the stage in this final scene caught a glimpse of me standing in the wings, and they were finding it hard to contain their laughter. And I was waiting for my cue, and sure enough the detective went, "Sergeant, take them away." As soon as I walked onto that stage, the audience burst out laughing. It was ridiculous. They then set the other members of the cast off because they thought if the audience are laughing their heads off, we can. and even the murderer had a laugh, and he shouldn't have laughed because I was there to take him away. The whole thing was ridiculous, and everyone was laughing except for the director, who was very stone-faced because it was a serious play. I then had a little laugh myself because it was a ridiculous situation, and I remembered I've got a line to deliver. So I took the arm of the murderer and I said, "I think you should come along with me, sir." And I marched them off. And as I marched them off, a huge cheer went up, and the director was a little bit funny for a little while, but when we met for drinks after the play, she said, I hope you don't mind doing that part." I said, "No." She said, "The next play we're doing is a comedy. I'd like you to read for one of the parts." So I said, "I'd like that. I'd like that." She said, "But if you get it, you must stick to the script." And I said, "Well, I did stick to the script. I only had one line, and that was, 'I think you should come along with me, sir.'" And she said, "Yes, but nowhere in the script did it say that the policeman delivers that line, then takes a bow before exiting the stage." And that was my first appearance. The second short story is about the director herself. She was a lovely lady, but she's one of these people that said things without really thinking about what she just said. We were doing early rehearsals, a read-through of a play that was a comedy, and it was about two couples, and these two couples couldn't have been more different. One couple was ruled by the wife. She henpecked her husband. She told him to jump and he said how high, and I was playing that person, which I didn't mind because I just looked to real life for my inspiration. I was well used to saying yes dear. And the other couple was ruled over by the husband, and the wife was very timid and quiet and did what she was told. And that was the sort of main idea for the comedy, was that different people from those couples met and had dialogue, and it was quite funny, and it was a funny play. When we're doing the read through, we're all in a circle sitting in the chairs, and you're getting to know your character, you're getting to know the lines. And because it was set in the present day, we used to have to provide our own costumes. It was an amateur dramatic group. They couldn't afford lavish costumes. And I used to tour the second-hand shops and the charity shops of Chippenham. And the people in there used to think I had weird dress sense because I used to get all the clothes for the various parts that I did. And I used to almost have to explain, this is not for my everyday wear. I'm doing a play. And they used to go, "Yeah, of course you are." And we were doing this read through, and the lady that was playing the timid, quiet housewife ruled over by her husband, she was reading her part, and she said to the director, she said, "What sort of clothes do you think my character should wear?" And this is absolutely true. The director said, "Well, dear," she said, "you have to put yourself in the mindset of that character. She is totally dominated by her husband. Her husband probably chooses all of her clothes for her because he doesn't want her to be too flash. So no bright colours. He doesn't want her to wear anything too sexy in case she gets ogled by other men. So," she said, "no short skirts or plunging necklines." She said, "She's got to wear clothes that are dull, that are drab, that make her fade into the background." And then she said, "The ones you've got on are quite suitable." and that was the director to a T. She didn't think about what she said. She just came out and said it and told this woman that she needed to wear dull and dreary clothes just like the ones she was wearing. And the other two stories I will tell you in my next vlog, because I do want to tell them to you because they are funny, about the actress and her wig, and the the passionate kiss and pretend whiskey, because they are funny stories too. So don't forget to tune in and get ready for the next two stories, because you will enjoy them, hopefully. So if you're a biker, you ride safe. If you're not a biker, you be safe. And thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. I need subscribers. Thank you. Bye.